Welcome to this tutorial on the topic of using Device Manager, and then this tutorial is going to be relatively short, focused on how to add devices manually, how to import devices, how to execute device discovery and looking at logs and detailed information. So let's go ahead and get logged into Gluware and get started. So Gluware is going to navigate me back into the last place I was in the application, which happens to be Solution Management. So I'm going to go up to the far right and click on the app switcher and navigate into Device Manager. So when you're working with a brand new organization that doesn't have any devices yet, it's going to be very empty with a prompt to add a device and look like this. So essentially, when it comes to adding devices, you have three options. One is you can add an individual device one by clicking on Add Device. Here you would type the name and hit Create. And then you would fill in the details of how Gluware connects to that system. You would provide the details of how Gluware connects to that system so Gluware can interrogate it and discover the details. I don't want to, in this example, I don't want to add devices one by one, so I'm going to close out of the navigation, and this device added, I'm going to come up here to my actions bar. Pay attention because you're going to be using the actions and views on the bottom window here as well as the top window. These are your primary navigation and action views. So I click on that and I'm going to click the trash can and confirm deletion of that single device. Now what I really want to do in my environment is that I do have a list of devices, so I want to import them. So in this example, I can navigate to the option in the menu bar to import devices. If you've never imported devices before, you can click on the button to download the CSV template. Once you do that, you can double click and open it, and I'll just bring it into view here. It's going to show you the required fields to bring in. So anything double asterisk is required, so a name, an address, a username, and a password. By the way, you can import devices and handle username, password after the fact, but for the purposes of install, you want to populate at least the required fields. So that would be them. I do have those fields for my devices saved in another sheet, so I'm going to hit Don't Save. And I'm going to say import from file, and I'm going to navigate to that file. This is out of view, but let me go ahead and pull in that particular file. So I have 10 devices in this file. I see my 10 records were imported successfully and no errors. I click OK, and I can see those devices are here. So now the devices are defined in the system, but no discovery has been executed. So back to, I'll be going to my action bar to provide that, but what I do want to show you is now that you have devices in your list here, you can double click on any one of these and it will populate the top part of the screen to give you details. So now I have the connection details, but no discovered details are available yet. And again, this is in the config view where I can still edit parameters to get to it. I can also click on the viewing the config file and the viewing of the logs. So there's very little that has occurred on this device yet. So let's go ahead and perform discovery. So when we're performing device discovery, which essentially is Gluware connecting to the device and running our device detect library where we're interrogating the device for numerous parameters, including saving the backup, saving the running config file. So I can do a Control A and select all the devices in my grid and come over to the icon for Discover Devices and click on that one time. And what you're going to see in the Discovered Status view here, we quickly are queuing the jobs, we're assigning the jobs to a engine, and then when you see the dots, Gluware is actively interrogating those devices. As Gluware completes the job, all the details will be populated in the grid. So let's pick one of these, Hub 1, and just double click on it. So now as Hub 1 is discovered, I can navigate over, and if I click on the configuration view, I'm going to see Gluware has captured the full configuration running on this device, and it is stored and saved. And each time the Gluware engine touches these devices, it will re-update this information. And from here, I can also download the configuration out of Gluware. But what I want to show you, probably more importantly, is if you click on the log view, you can come over and you can float over it to see a quick view of the log, but you can double click in it and you get to see the Gluware log, which is going to show you all the interaction with the device. So if I back up to the very first part, in green, it's going to highlight any responses from the device. So I can see, Gluware is executing a show version, and you're going to see the output of that run. And all of this information Gluware is storing in a data model, and then we're extracting details out of it that are predetermined to be values that we want to pull in the grid. So you can come in and see all the detail of exactly what Gluware is doing as it interacts with each device. And again, this is in the activities log, and if I go back, I can see all the log views, but basically, anytime there's interaction with the device, I can double click in and see all that interaction. So it's a very valuable component of Gluware in that nothing is essentially hidden from the user. Everything Gluware is doing from an automation standpoint is available in the device logs. So now I have devices here and I have executed a discovery, and then I can begin to do things with the discovered information. In the next tutorial, we're going to look at kind of mastering the Device Explorer from searching and sorting and other things. But this video, we wanted to focus on adding manually, importing a list, which we've just done, executing a device discovery and looking at the logs and the details. By the way, back on the detailed view of the device, especially if it is a physical device. So I'm going to double click on a physical switch that also has a stack. As I scroll down, what you're going to see are additional fields that Gluware is populating and showing you that you can see all the details in an organized view. We also are interrogating all the components of a stack. So this is all available in a detailed export. However, here also in the UI view, you can click into any element that has stacks and navigate in and see serial numbers and see other various information about something that maybe have multiple sub elements to it. So that is the detailed views of the device and the logs and the config backup. So this concludes this demonstration and tutorial on how devices are either added or imported. In a follow-up video, we're going to go into some detail on the network discovery. We'll show you that next time. Thank you.